Horrifying moment. How Russia loses 1,190 troops and 18 artillery systems in one day in Ukraine. Russia will soon be launching more powerful strikes on Ukraine, President Volodymyr Zelenskyy has said, as Kyiv stares down fatigue and the brunt of the harsher winter conditions in its war against Moscow. As winter approaches, there will be more Russian attempts to make the strikes more powerful, Zelenskyy said in his daily evening address on Saturday. It is crucial for all of us in Ukraine to be 100% effective, he added. Despite all the difficulties, despite all the fatigue, despite any attempts to weaken Ukraine. Since the Kremlin launched its full-scale invasion of Ukraine in late February 2022, Moscow has maintained a campaign of missile, drone, and artillery strikes on the country. During Ukraine's winter season in 2022, Russia targeted Kyiv's energy infrastructure, a tactic it is expected to repeat in the coming weeks. These last months, Russia has been using its missiles sparingly and should again have accumulated a decent stock of them, Frederick Mertens, a strategic analyst with the Hague Center for Strategic Studies, told media in late October. Its most logical target would be Kyiv's energy infrastructure, and the most logical moment when it is needed the most, he added. Earlier in November, Zelenskyy warned Ukrainian citizens that they should be prepared for the fact that the enemy may increase the number of drone or missile strikes on our infrastructure. Here, in Ukraine, all attention should be focused on defense, Zelenskyy said on November 12th, reiterating the importance of air defense systems in the country. The Ukrainian leader has previously vowed that Kyiv will not only defend itself against strikes, but will also respond. Earlier this week, Ukrainian officials said Russia had stockpiled around 800 missiles on the Moscow-controlled Crimean Peninsula for winter strikes against Ukraine's energy sector. Russian forces in Ukraine have lost 1,190 troops and 18 artillery systems in the past day, Kyiv's military said on Sunday, as losses pile up at the start of the grueling winter effort. Moscow's forces have lost a total of 318,570 soldiers and 7,744 artillery systems since the start of all-out war in the country. In February 2022, the General Staff of Ukraine's military said on Sunday. In an update also published on Sunday, Moscow said 605 Ukrainian soldiers had been killed over the past 24 hours, but did not provide a Russian estimate for total Ukrainian losses in the almost 21-month-long war. The Ukrainian military has been contacted for comment. On Sunday, Ukraine's General Staff said its air defense systems had destroyed 15 out of 20 Iranian-designed Shahed drones used by Moscow. A total of 38 strike drones were launched overnight on Ukrainian territory, Kyiv's military said. Over the previous 24 hours, Russia also launched 5 missiles and 76 airstrikes against Ukraine, according to Kyiv. Moscow has maintained a campaign of missile, drone, and artillery strikes on the country since the Kremlin began its invasion effort. But as the tougher, muddier, and freezing winter conditions influence battlefield tactics, Russia is expected to launch a renewed campaign of missile strikes against Ukrainian targets, including on the country's energy infrastructure. As winter approaches, there will be more Russian attempts to make the strikes more powerful. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy said in his daily evening address on Saturday. It is crucial for all of us in Ukraine to be 100% effective, he added. More than 150 Ukrainian settlements in the north, east, and south of the country came under artillery fire over the past day, Kyiv said on Sunday. Fighting is continuing around the embattled Donetsk town of Avdiivka, the Ukrainian military also said. Our warriors are steadily holding the defense, causing the enemy significant losses, the general staff continued. In its daily update, Russia did not mention the fortified but hard-hit town that has spent months on the front lines, but said its southern grouping of forces had stopped 6 Ukrainian attacks around the Donetsk town, Marinka, and the villages of Klishchivka and Shumy. Kyiv's fighters recorded 22 attacks around Marinka, Ukraine said. More than 100 Ukrainian soldiers were killed, and 3 armored vehicles were destroyed in the southern Zaporizhzhia region, Moscow's defense ministry said. The Kremlin has annexed the region, but this is not internationally recognized, and it does not control the entirety of territory. The southern swathe of Ukraine has also seen some of the heaviest fighting of Kyiv's counteroffensive, which began in early June.
Вон Сапина!
Пошла! Пошла!
Что?
Ух!